What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today I'm here to discuss one of the most fantastic changes that Deepwoken has ever made when it comes to build crafting. I mean, I love to experiment with the game with characters from my favorite anime, video games, and overall just weird things in Deepwoken, and this is the only game that allows it. Simply, from a customization aspect, there's no game I can actually name that has such vast gameplay and character customization outside of AAA titles or games. So seriously, if you want to make a character or play in a very specific way, Deepwoken lets you do that more than anything else. Anyway, today I want to mention a handful of fantastic changes that ultimately rewrite the way that we create our builds. At this current moment, there's little to no restriction to what builds we can design, so let's talk about it. When making any Deepwoken build, the most important part of the entire process is point efficiency. How can we get exactly what we need while saving the most amount of stat points that can be spent elsewhere? Talents, mantras, and oaths should be a priority since they're way more impactful, in my opinion, than damage scaling. Anyway, since the game's release, your slot's race or aspects, as they're now called, have always limited the player in stat efficiency. Also, I won't be discussing obtained stat points through potions since this is not what I'm talking about. Regardless, on any Deepwoken build, there's a maximum total of 330 normal stat points that we can use, but before this update, you could only control 325. 5 stat points meant a lot if you're trying to min-max, and for a while, this actually killed builds. So, all races or aspects had set innate stats and attribute points that made sense with their theme, but we couldn't change them around. Luckily though, in this update, it has become possible to gain these 5 attribute points for full customization with the purchase of the multifaceted Echo. Every single race stat points can be used for any attribute, which upgrades every one of your future builds. In summary, you objectively get more content on your builds because you get plus 5 points. To further push customization, we've also obtained the Elementalist Echo, which lets the player pick and choose how many stat points to start in an element, and pick however many elements they want to use. Before this, we were limited to allocating a maximum of 10 stat points in a single attunement, or splitting that between 2 attunements. Luckily though, we can become the avatar if we want, removing so much build making nonsense from the game with this small upgrade. And the final change that really gave us a kickstart was the removal of limited stat caps in character customization. For example, if I wanted to put all of my 30 starting points into Gale Breath, I can finally do that, no questions asked. But before, we were limited, we were locked, preventing the player from allocating more than they should in specific stats. This super small change is absolutely huge because as soon as we spawn in, we can instantly talk to a mystic and confirm exactly what we want to roll for. Simply, there's less time wasted, more knowledge saved, and overall, more you can do with your builds, and it's just magnificent. Deepwoken's builds are unlike anything I've seen in any game, and I think build creativity just got an upgrade. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below and what builds are now possible. Thank you once again to all of my loyal fans and members who do support my channel directly, and if you like what I do, feel free to join up down below for even more content. As always, thank you again, and make sure to like and subscribe. We just hit 105k subs, and let's go for 110k. Thanks again, and have a good one. It's punchin' time.